Welcome to the R2RB podcast series, where we interview local musicians and get to know them on a more personal basis. I'm Deb Lamata, your host for R2RB podcast series. This podcast is about the local musician's journey, their influences, their creative process, and so much more. We'll also highlight their music and let you know where they will be playing their next gig. So sit back, relax, and enjoy R2RB podcast series. Hi, and welcome to the R2RB podcast series. And tonight I have with me Gale Clay, DJ Cocomotion, the music mixologist. Hi, Gale. Thank you for being here on the R2RB podcast. How's the weather up your way, by the way?
Well, it's November. It's cold. We got lucky today. It was in the 60s. And I think tomorrow will be in the 60s. But then after that, it's we're like heading straight into winter. You know, we've had some days I woke up and it's been like 25, you know.
Yeah. So I'm down here in Delaware, and it's usually about between 5 and 10 degrees warmer down here. Mm-hmm. It actually was very warm down here, and I will not complain because I'm not a big winter person anymore.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right, a lot of people say that. I don't mind it. You know, I moved south for a few years, and you know, I figured, you know, being a New Englander, I needed my seasons. You know, it just I do miss the fall. I see the beautiful pictures of all the beautiful colors in the foliage that we don't have down here. We have some color in Delaware, but what a difference. I mean, it takes me about 4 hours to get up to Connecticut, and what a difference just with the colors, and that part I do miss. Yeah.
Absolutely. All right. So I like to ask 2 or maybe 3 questions to get us warmed up. If you could have any superhero power, which one would you have?
I would have to go with invisibility. So then I can go from club to club and venue to venue and see what's really going on, you know?
I like that. I like that. All right. What's your favorite app on your phone and why?
Okay, well, don't laugh, but I have a language app on my phone that I use a lot.
Oh, cool.
And I'm learning Spanish. And like, I like all the apps and everything. I think they're cool, but like for me, if I'm not going to benefit from it, like it's not going to give me a leg up,
right?
You know, I'm not going to waste a lot of time on it, you know? So I pick something, and it's like 15 minutes a day, you know, it is not like you're going to learn overnight, but you learn slowly. So I spend a lot of time on that app, pretty much on my phone, and like a couple of games that I play.
Oh, cool. I like that. Yeah, I've used one of the language apps too. Slow is the best way to learn. And it's funny how much you pick up, and when you think you haven't really picked up anything. So that's awesome. All right. So how did you come up with your DJ name?
Well, I thought about, this is my second name, actually.
Oh, okay.
Like when I first started out, when I was on WYBC, I was DJ Diva G.
Okay.
And then a little ways down the road, I decided I wanted to kind of like just change everything, because I was going to start doing house, and Diva G was more connected with hip hop and things like that. So, and I was thinking of the name, and I said, well, I thought of the song Locomotion. And then I was like, oh, you know what? Well, I'm Coco. I said, so I'm going to be Cocomotion.
I like it. And then you added the mixologist part.
Yeah, and then I added the music mixologist.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. So before I start asking questions about being a DJ, what do you like to do in your free time? And do you have like 3 other jobs that you do as well?
Let's see. In my free time, I have a t-shirt line.
Oh, really?
And I spend a lot of time doing like graphic design, because I create all my own designs and everything. I do vendoring, you know, sometimes, not as much as I used to, but I'll be getting back into that. What else do I do? I do everything creative. Like I'm an artist, like I draw. So I just spend a lot of time creating art and music. That's what I like to say.
It sounds very soothing and therapeutic.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. So you've been a DJ since 1990?
Yes.
And where did you first start DJing at?
WYBC.
Is that out of Connecticut?
Mm-hmm. That's the Yale station. It's like, it used to be the Yale Broadcasting Company, but now it's kind of morphed into more of like from a college commercial to kind of like a straight commercial
Okay.
station now. So it's a lot different from when I was on it. But yeah, so back then you could volunteer, you could be a volunteer community member, and with that you learned every aspect of radio. You could like be a DJ, you could do production, you can get in the music department, and all they asked you to do was just volunteer so much of your time a week. So that's how I got into it. I started volunteering there, and I started out doing the jazz format, and then I went to the urban format. And when I got on the urban format, I met this guy, and we used to do a show together. I was the host, and I asked him to teach me how to mix records, because to me, he was like the most amazing DJ I had ever seen or heard. I used to sit and watch him just in awe,
Wow.
at the things he was doing. And so he agreed to help me. He took me under his wing, and now here I am.
Yeah, exactly. Here you are is right. And so music's always been a part of who you are.
Oh, absolutely. I've always been in love with music ever since I was old enough to understand the concept of it.
Wow.
It blows me away still.
Wow. Wow. Oh my God. Yeah, after all this time. So did you know back then you wanted to be a DJ? Did you think about it, or was it just music and then you ended up at the radio station?
Well, I thought a little bit about being like because back then, like radio was different. Like you
Right.
had actual jocks, you know what I'm saying? And everybody had a slot. And, I thought about it, especially when I got to WIBC. I really enjoyed it. But I really wanted to be a music DJ.
Okay.
And I remember the first time I went to a party, my sister's graduated from UConn. And so when I was like a sophomore in high school, she would invite me to the parties up there. And I went to this one party, and this is the moment I knew. It was in somebody's basement. It was like one of these underground parties. And so I'm standing there, and this DJ it was just amazing. And I stood and I stared at him. And then from that moment on, when I left that party, I decided I was going to figure out how, because I knew nothing about turntables, mixers, nothing, But I was like, I got to figure this out. So then I was on a mission, And so then when I met my friend Lee, and he actually showed me how to use the equipment, it was, that's all I needed. I just needed somebody to tell me what to do, how to do it, and then I will be good. And so that's what happened. I mean, that was the moment. That was the moment I knew when I saw that guy at this UConn party.
And it grabs your soul. It just
Yes.
grabs you, right?
Yeah.
Because I have Ron, my partner, and then Ron K, who's also on R2RB. It just is who they are.
Yeah.
It becomes them, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Wow. So we talked about your show being syndicated. How did you end up being on Cindy? Because that's where I found you.
Yeah, I was my goal was to be syndicated, because I used to listen to what is this DJ's name? He used to play these mixes on WIBC. He's Steve Silk Hurley.
Okay.
So they would do like a 15-20 minute mix every morning, and he would like blend these records, and they would just be like, it was just amazing. And I was like, wow, that's really cool. And so I was like, I would like to do that. And so it was always in the back of my mind. So then when I started like doing house and kind of like being on my own, I looked into it. I read 2 books on how to be syndicated. You know what I'm saying? Because I was trying to figure out how to do it. So I read the 2 books, and, I did all the steps, and, and I got to where they said you could do X, Y, and Z, but then I had to find platforms. And I didn't want to sit on the internet and scour different states for different stations. You don't know who's doing what, who's playing what, even if they're still on the air,
right?
Stuff like that. So I just went on and I typed in syndicated radio shows, and then Cindy shows came up. And so like I was saying, I was like, oh, I'm gonna just post it. I'm gonna see if I get any bites, So I put it up there, and people started contacting me.
Yeah, and that's like I said, that's how I found you, and that was exactly the same search that I put in too. So yeah, that was pretty cool. And you're from Connecticut. You're originally from Connecticut?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is there any cons about being anything negative about being syndicated?
Not so far, because this is the first, like my first year doing this. I haven't had anything negative yet.
But
You know,
it's helped you grow.
oh, absolutely. Exposure is unbelievable. I mean, I'm in the UK. I have like I'm gonna pick up another station in the UK, so that'll be 3 stations. I never dreamed that my show would be across the pond.
Right.
I just, I never thought that would happen.
But that's the beauty of it now with,
Yes.
I mean, I know there's a lot of negatives, but I think there's also, a lot of good things coming out of the internet and internet broadcasting and network. And so you're just a radio DJ. Do you do any mobile?
I have done mobile. Mobile's okay. The only thing I don't like every time, well, not every time, but most times, like when someone hires me to do a party, it's just like they hire me to be the DJ, but then the whole night they're being the DJ. And that kind of annoys me a little bit, and then it's always issue like a lot of people don't understand what goes into like doing an event, like bringing the equipment, setting it up, the sound check, lugging stuff, all of that, and it takes time. And people, they don't think about that aspect of it. They think about, well, I only need you for 3 hours, so why is it $350? You know what I'm saying? And so it just
Yeah.
it gets to be too much of a hassle.
Right. Yeah. And going back to, them being a DJ, well, you are the DJ. And doesn't it like mess up your mixes to have people interrupt? You get into that flow?
Yes. And see, I'm a freestyle mixer. Like I don't use playlists or anything. Like when I mix, I just have my library and I'll just like pick a BPMs. Like maybe this week I want to do something at 125, and then I'll just go in there and just, bang out the mix. And I do the same if I'm doing an event as well. Like everything is just completely off the top of my head. So if somebody comes over and, oh, I want to hear such and such, and it doesn't fit with what I'm doing, and then you're right. It just kind of messes up the flow. I mean, just let the DJ do their thing,
Yeah, absolutely. And I think one of the amazing things for me, knowing you and Ron and DJ Sister Love, who's also on the network, and DJ Ron K, I don't know how you all have that all in your head. You know all the music, you know what to grab, you know where it is going way back when. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. I'm still looking for something. Hold on. That's why I said I'm not a DJ. I'm a talk show host.
Excuse me. Well, that comes from like I don't know how long like the other two have been DJing, but that is what a seasoned DJ is. Like you have a lot of like startups and up and comings or people who like just because like it's easier now because you have a controller as opposed to having to learn how to use 1210s. Everybody thinks that just because you have equipment that makes you a DJ, but that's not the case. You have to like my library dates back to the 1990s. When we're talking about hip hop, I go back really far, like the whole bad boy era, but even before that. And because like I've had these songs for so long, and then when you play them, like when you get certain reactions from songs, those songs stick in your head. Like, you can pull a certain song by Biggie and the crowd's gonna go nuts just because you've done it before. And see, that's what being a seasoned DJ means. It doesn't mean, okay, I got a controller and a computer and I got a library of stuff. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't work like that, You have to learn how to make everything mesh. It just takes time.
Exactly. It takes the time. And so going back from when you started DJing to where we are now, things have changed dramatically. And so for you, are there things that you would want to bring back from, when you first started out?
I'd want to bring back, if I could, I'd like to bring back like when radio stations were really like the thing. You know what I'm saying? Because it was so much fun. You know what I'm saying? Now with the internet, everybody's isolated in their own musical world. You know what I'm saying? And they don't understand like there's so much more out there. And if you just open up, to other things, you'd be amazed what you could learn and like the fun you can have. And like, I miss the contests and I miss, breaking records and I miss, all of that, like the labor reps coming by, like giving you product, all that stuff. I wish they could bring that back. And I would also like to have back real talent and real singers and real music with like instruments,
Absolutely. No. And both the Rons probably have been DJing for at least 40 years.
Okay.
Yeah, and I love to listen to the stories about, running down to the record store to get the newest single.
Oh yeah.
And getting it in the mix before, somebody else gets it in there.
It used to be so bad, like because you want to protect it. Like I had this one, I'll never forget. I had this one song by this artist named Paula Perry, right? And I would be in dollar bins. If I saw something at the Goodwill, I was in there. I was everywhere, and I found this, and it was a gem. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
When I got out, I was doing a Saturday night dance party. So that was the first record I put on was this song by Paula Perry. And the mistake is I didn't hide the label because people put stickers over the labels, just so nobody could know what the record was. You might know the color of it, but you don't know the name, So this other guy, Ron, runs in there and he leans over the turntable and he's trying to see what the record is, Now,
oh my God. But I totally get it because I guess so. The two Rons have been friends also forever, and they'll tell the story like Ron, tall Ron would get the first release, and then Ron K would like call him. Is like, where'd you get that? Who is that? What are you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't even think DJs now understand protecting, and you wanted to be the first, and you don't want other people to know what you're spinning.
Yeah, that's true. Like you can get away with it. Like with house music, you can definitely get away with it because it's not so mainstream.
Right.
Like I've heard things that other DJs have played that I was like, God, I wonder what that. And I was the same way. What is that? You know what I'm saying? And you kind of want to stand by them and look at the monitor. You just catch a glimpse of the name, but yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's definitely changed. But I'm so glad that we still have DJs like you.
And thank you.
So you do the house mixes. Do you have, and you're on the radio, do you do different formats, different genres, or just the house?
I can do, well, that's how I got the mixologist part of my name, because I was thinking, because I can mix anything. I mean, I can do anything. That's the way I feel. Like I can do hip hop. I can do like a nice R&B night. I can do neo soul. I can do jazz. I know classic rock. I know, whatever. And if I had to do something, like I could do something decent with it. So, and I was like, well, I can do a lot of different genres, kind of like a bartender can mix with a lot of different alcohols.
Right.
So I call myself the music mixologist.
There you go. Oh my gosh. So I know that other DJs don't always like to share their knowledge or what have you. Did you have a mentor in the beginning? I know you had DJs that you liked.
Oh yeah. My friend Lee.
Okay.
He was the one that took me under his wing. He showed me everything, and and I owe a lot to him, because if it wasn't for him, being nice enough to teach me how to mix, then like I wouldn't have any of the skills that I have today. And like I said, to me, he was one of the best DJs I had ever seen. And when I tell you I was in awe, I would just be like, I used to stare at him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so he was responsible for me learning everything that I know.
Was he from Connecticut as well?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, we both lived in New Haven.
Nice.
He was like, we did the Saturday night dance party together. Like I was a host, he was the DJ, and then eventually I graduated to having my own show. So then it was so I think he would go on first, and I would have like the 11 to 2 slot, and yeah.
Wow. Yeah. I think we all need, no matter what business you're in, I think you always need a mentor, somebody to be able to fall back on and, be there for you through it all. What advice would you give somebody wanting to be a DJ these days? And more than just, picking up a small controller and run out the door with it. I mean, somebody who really wants to be into the DJing.
What I would say, and I learned this myself, if you're gonna if you want to do this, then you have to put in the time. You can't fake it because eventually it will show, like, especially like if you're out doing something and you're just whack, you know what I'm saying? Because you haven't put in the time, it's more than just playing like the hot songs. You have to, I say, if you have a controller, the best thing you can do, or turntables or whatever you're using, you have to make it your best friend. And the more you work with it and the more you talk to it, it'll reveal secrets to you. But you'll never know those secrets if you don't make it your friend.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yep. Make it your friend and spend the time. I mean, yeah, absolutely. And find
Just
a
like
good mentor.
cultivating a relationship,
That's right. Yeah, because if you're going to make it your life, it's exactly what you're getting into is a relationship with it. So you've been on traditional radio and online. Is there one, is one better over the other?
I think like right now, the online for me works well. Before the Peace Living House show, I was on WESU in Middletown, Wesleyan, their station. I've done a lot of the college radio for the simple fact that I like the creative freedom. Like how commercial radio is. You got a song, you deviate from this list and you're fired. That type of thing. So I pretty much stuck with a lot of college radio, and I did this show called Strictly Off the Head for 5 years, and it was a hip hop mix show. Every Friday night, 10:30 to 11, I was in Middletown at the radio station, doing the show, and it was a huge commitment. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't have a Friday night. Like I wasn't going out, I wasn't at the bar, I wasn't at the club, I was at the radio station.
Right.
And with me now, I do my mix for the week, and it's everywhere at once. So I don't even have to, I can just, from the comfort of my own home, I can be everywhere at once.
And do you do your recording at home? What's been the best part of being a DJ?
When like doing something and people enjoying your work, or seeing people dance, have a good time. I think that's what I like the most about it. I always say that's the best part. The worst part is breaking everything down,
Yeah, I mean, you definitely, again, people don't realize all the things that you do have to set up, and then you have to break it down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you do it by yourself?
Yeah, or sometimes I'll, like, if I'm doing something for someone, I'll tell them they have to have someone, at least carrying the speakers. Because right now, thank God, it's just the controller and the computer. So I can come in with like one bag and the speakers, you know what I'm saying? So before it was the turntables, the vinyl, and everything that comes along with that. So it's a much easier thing to do. So that's what allows me, like, if I didn't have anybody, I could probably do it by myself, you know what I'm saying? Because it's not huge,
right.
You know what I'm saying? But
at one time you need 2 men in a truck.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. If you wanted to do it by yourself, you had to get there at least 2 hours early just to carry the stuff in,
Did you have any hurdles to navigate through being a woman, being a DJ, being in a radio station?
Yeah, there was a lot of weird things that happened that I couldn't quite explain. It got really weird. So, honestly, I stepped back for a while. For a few years, I was just like, I can't do this, because it was just so weird. And I'm like, this is just, college radio, and people are cutthroat. I mean, thank God there's no money on the line. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know what would have happened. It's just a lot of weird things. Like I had a couple of the other females that worked at the station, 2 stations actually. There was 2 separate women at 2 separate stations that just hated me for like no reason at all. One tried to fist fight me. You know what I'm saying? It was crazy. Yeah. It's just, like I said, it was weird. And then like some of the guys were really weird, because, like back when radio was, the DJ was almost like star quality. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of them were like really arrogant. They just do weird things, and I just couldn't take it. And so then when I did come back, that's when I changed my name. And, and I left all that behind me because of my experiences in the past. that's why I'm kind of a solo act, because I can control it now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Who's in my circle, who I let get close, who I even let in. You know what I'm saying? Now
Sure.
I'm in control.
I was wondering because I haven't met too many. There's lots of DJs out there, female DJs. I just haven't had the privilege of meeting them, and that was one of the questions I was looking forward to asking you. So yeah, it still happens. It's crazy.
Yeah, the male ego is something else, And back then I was better than most of the guys, so you can imagine.
Right? They were like, "Oh no,
Yeah.
oh
Oh
no."
yeah.
Yeah, right. It's like, come on, guys, get over yourselves.
Uh-huh.
Move over. I've been asking this question just to because I like to hear the answers about artificial intelligence, AI in the music industry. Any feelings about it?
I haven't really looked into too much, but because of this question, I kind of read up on it a little bit just to see, what exactly was going on with it. And like there's a few different aspects. Like there's the one that I would agree with the most would probably be help in the production area,
Okay.
like with your mix down or your levels, or like I said, taking out noise and just making the song. That I can get on board with, but making a whole song with artificial intelligence is not. I think algorithms is what got the music industry in trouble in the first place,
Yep.
because they moved from people like actually creating to letting a computer decide what people want to hear. And now what we have is a bunch of redundant nonsense that like I can't even stand it. I remember I drive up to work in the morning, and one day I decided I was going to listen to the radio because it's been ages, because I have a little USB. I listen to house. I said,
Right.
what? I'm gonna listen to the radio today. I think I got halfway to work. I just couldn't take it anymore.
Yeah.
I was like, what is this? It was driving me nuts. And I blame that on the algorithms.
Yeah.
There's no one size fits all when it comes to creativity.
No.
At all.
No.
And I don't care how much they think a computer, it's my dog, can mimic the human brain. And the word mimic is what people should pay attention to, because there's authentic and then there's trying to be like Mike. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And you'll never be able to take away the personal touch or in any aspect at all, but certainly in the music industry, because it's all personal.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm like you said, though, there's the pros. There's absolutely good things. I had talked about this a year ago. Watch out, because this is going to blow up, and here we are.
yeah.
Yeah.
But if you think about it, people were already doing these things before artificial intelligence. So I don't understand why we would need artificial intelligence unless it's for people who, like I said before, don't want to put in the work. They want the masters, but they don't want to take the classes.
That's definitely the cons of it all. Any projects in the works for you?
Just working on some new designs for my t-shirt line. I got some house music stuff I'm working on. I'm gonna start this thing called urban art, and I have these pictures that I drew, and they're all like urban based pictures. And so I found a place that'll take and make a digital file of it, because it's pastel, so you can't really copy it because it'll smear.
Yeah.
So I found a place that can just take a shot of it, make a digital file, and I'm putting those pictures on the shirts.
Oh wow.
And so I'm gonna see. I did one or two so far, so I want to see, how they fare. And the pictures are, I think they're pretty cool. I have one that says it's like a graffiti type thing, and like there's a little guy that I drew like standing there with a can, and he spray painted "Music Equals Life" on this wall.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, so that's the first one I did. Yeah, and just keep trying to grow the show and get out there, and maybe eventually monetize it, with some
That's
money.
it. Yeah,
Yeah. Well, I know
absolutely.
about the labor of love thing, but like when you love it, it's not really a labor, if you think about it, because even how many times have you said, oh, I can't do this anymore? And then you wake up
Right.
the next day and you're like, okay, what do I got to do next?
Right. Oh my God. This whole year. Oh my gosh. Absolutely. So where can people find you, get in touch with you, buy your t-shirts?
Well, I have Facebook handle is DJ Cocomotion _ music mixologist CT. And it's the same for Instagram. I have a page on Facebook. I have a DJ Cocomotion page, and I have a Peace, Love, and House page. And that's just geared towards like the show. My shirts, I have waveforms, which is my other Facebook page for those shirts. And people could just hit me up if they see something they like. Mainly, I'm a vendor. I tried the whole like website thing, but it was just so much work, trying to keep it up, and it didn't pan out. So I was like, I'll just let that go. And, like I said, I vendor a lot. That's where I make most of my money. I feel like I blanketed Hartford, Connecticut with those shirts. I swear.
But that's all good. It's definitely all good. And is there anything that I haven't touched on that you would like to share with everybody?
I think we got everything. I just like, to say, if you're not a house head, check out the Peace, Love, and House show, because you could be a house head.
Absolutely. And you can check her out, DJ Cocomotion, the music mixologist, on R2RB on Friday afternoons at 5 p.m.
Okay. All right.
Gale, DJ Cocomotion, thank you so much for being here with me tonight. I wish you all the best, and I can't wait to go look at your T-shirts.
Oh, thank you. And thank you for having me. I appreciate the opportunity. Continued success with the station.
Thank you. You as well. Thank you for listening to the R2RB podcast series. You can listen to the podcast on www.r2rb.com/podcast or on r2rb.buzzsprout.com. Are you a local musician that would like to be a guest on the R2RB podcast series? You can email us at info@r2rb.com. Have a suggestion for the next podcast interview? Send that to info@r2rb.com. Find us on Facebook at R2RB Broadcasting and on Instagram at R2RB. Until next time, keep the music playing.